Hi, I'm Scott Jacobson, Product Marketing Director here at Cadence Design Systems. I'm in charge of the Ethernet Verification IP products here at Cadence. And today, we're going to talk about the evolution of Ethernet Part 3. Part 1 of this series talked about how people communicated and shared information before the evolution of Ethernet. Part 2 talked about the world where we started to share information and started to share resources, the evolution of Ethernet, where Ethernet was defined and adopted and actually grew into the networking solution that we have today. Part 3 is now. What is Ethernet like today? This is not, Ethernet today is not your grandfather's Ethernet. The original Ethernet was really designed around a simplified approach of a bus topology, originally around coaxial cable connections and then twisted pair. Ethernet today has survived many different challenges and continues to adapt. And today it's gone into a whole new world. Originally Ethernet was non-deterministic, right? So what I mean by that, so in the non-deterministic sense, so when it broadcasts a message, it wasn't exactly sure how quickly the response would come. It would back up and retry and go in. Well, there's been a big shift now that Ethernet adoption has gone into worlds like industrial control, where you've got a CNC machine carving out a multi-million-dollar piece of a prototype on some metal. And if it's connected by Ethernet, it just can't have a random response rate to when it should stop carving and not ruin that $1 million piece of metal. If you're in a car and you've got Ethernet in the car and Ethernet's the medium between your foot pedal and your brakes, you don't want that to be a random amount of time when you step on the brake pedal to when your brakes react. You want to know that it's going to react within a certain amount of time. So Ethernet has become more deterministic in its recent forms. So in the non-deterministic part of Ethernet, which is still the principal part that carries a lot of the traffic, Ethernet has evolved very rapidly in supporting higher performance solutions and higher speeds and feeds for Ethernet over the years. But that whole cycle has also been compressing. So, for instance, to go from 10 megabits per second to 100 megabits per second took actually 12 years of spec development to get to that point. From 100 to 1 gig, from 100 to 1 gig took about 3 years. From 1 gig to 10 gig took 4 years. But then from 10 gig to 100 gig speeds, it took about 8 years, right? And what happened here was that the complexity of implementing the hardware on 100 gig with 10G ports became very difficult to do from a technical point of view, and the definition of the standard kind of slowed down a little bit. But and also then from 100G to 400G, this took about 7 years, right? So what's happened is that the new speed introductions in Ethernet have been compressed and compressed and compressed as far as their lifetime goes, because the industry adoption of Ethernet and the demands on it have gotten to be so high. And this doesn't even reflect that in the last 2 years, there have been new, I'm going to call them intermediate introductions in the Ethernet standard. In the last 2 years, Ethernet has seen the introduction of 2.5G, 5G, 25G, 50G, 200G, 400G standards. All of that within the last 2 years. I lost track of how many fingers I just counted on that. I think there's 7 or 8 different standards in the last 2 years. So Ethernet is continuing to grow and to adapt and to address new market segments. And this is all in the core, I'm going to call it the core or the classical mode of Ethernet in the non-deterministic world. In the deterministic world, where you've got Ethernet has evolved into something called TSN, which is time-sensitive networks. Basically, it's like priority communication. So time-sensitive networks is based around the idea that response to a sender and a receiver has to be a predictable response, right? So in my family dinner table analogy that I used before, this would be like father speaking at the dinner table, and he talks to you. He expects a response within a certain amount of time. If you don't, you're going to get in trouble. You don't randomly wait to talk back to you, or to respond back to your father. So TSN has been adopted in industrial applications, automotive, and it continues to evolve in other ways. So Ethernet continues to, from this baseline definition for networking, it has continued to evolve and expand and improve and offer new alternatives. And this doesn't even talk, I won't even talk today about in the area of optical. In the area of optical growth, so that for backhaul and data center connections, Ethernet continues to be adopted because it's ubiquitous, it's supported, it's a standard, it's known, it's low risk, it's evolving and meeting the needs of today's world in a way that no other standard in technology has really been under any more aggressive pressure for addressing the needs of the design world. Thank you for watching today. Again, if you want more information on verification IP product, Ethernet verification IP products, please visit cadence.com and go to the verification IP page.